Little Internets. It's Paul. It's Matt, the Dork Lords. We are here talking about Luke Cage Season 2, Episodes 5 and 6. Episode 5, All Sold Out. Episode 6, The Basement. All right. Just broadly speaking, we begin Episode 5.
With his favorite person.
With my favorite character, not just in the MCU.
No.
In the history of cinema and television.
That's right.
Foggy.
Yeah, take that, Sherlock Holmes.
No sarcasm at all in my voice. Okay, anyway. But we start with that subpoena that Luke got at the end of episode 4.
Yeah.
Turns out it's because Cockroach is suing him for getting pummeled.
Yep.
We start there. We end with a dramatic fight on a bridge.
Oh, an episode later.
Right, that's what I'm saying. we're bridging to. So did I say bridging? Because okay. And then Bushmaster blows the dust, paralyzes Luke, kicks him off of the bridge into the water, where he's paralyzed. He's probably dead. It's probably the end of the episode. It's weird how they ended the show that early because they still got all these episodes. I assume they're going to have 7 episodes of mourning for Luke.
Yeah, with Scrappy Cage.
He was good.
You know.
Never mind the fact that the screen cap for the next episode has Luke saying, okay, anyway, yeah. As you put it, maybe he's in heaven.
Yeah.
It's Luke in heaven.
Yeah.
No, I think Luke will be okay. But all right, so that's how do we get from Luke answering a subpoena to Luke paralyzed underwater? That's what we're going to talk about. All right. So yes, it starts with Foggy. You know what? I didn't dislike Foggy in his moment in this.
Right. So one of the things, differences in these scenes that he had in this one as opposed to the one previous ones. One, he wasn't like, nagging Matt about having to be Daredevil.
Good point. So that's just in case you, the audience, are like, who are we talking about? We're talking about Daredevil's sidekick, more or less. The guy who
counsel for a while.
If you watched Daredevil and there was the guy
law school friend.
God, I hate that guy.
Sidekick.
That's the guy we're talking about. The guy that who is that guy? Why I don't even want to know his name because he's so annoying. It was Foggy, and that's who's in the show. Okay, good. Anyway, but sorry. Yes, you are correct. He's not nagging Daredevil about being Daredevil.
No, he's not doing that.
And yeah, he facilitates the plot basically.
Yeah, and he's also not serving as the attorney for Jessica Jones either.
Right. So he is representing Luke in this action. Luke,
because he works for Rand Corporation.
Right. So in some ways, yes, he is brought in to represent Luke.
Yep.
And Luke breaks the table, which doesn't really help his I'm not a violent guy.
No.
And the Cockroach's attorney has written down a number on a piece of paper, $100,000. $100,000, 72 hours, you can make this go away. And Foggy's point is, yeah, you breaking the tables and stuff, we don't want you in a courtroom because you're going to lose your temper and people are going to be like, oh, I hate that guy. So and you're not likable, basically.
He's on probation, I assume, so he's risking getting sent back.
Right.
I would think.
So
I think that's what I got from it.
But good on Foggy. He has a bad idea. So good. Yay! Foggy still has bad ideas. Foggy's idea is, hey, you know how you can get the money? You just go show up at this guy's party, and he's going to pay you a bunch of money for it.
Yeah.
All you got, just stand around, sign some autographs, get shot.
That sounds easy.
Have people break bottles over you. Easy stuff. So Luke is like, well, let me pass on this party idea. Let me see if I can make some money my own way first. So that is a funny bit. I like the various his attempts at contacting people to make cash. One is a football. Hey, I did a football tryout. What if I play for you guys? And they're like, yeah, well, you weren't born this way, so if we allowed you in the league, then we'd have to every team would have to have one superhero. I don't know. I guess it's like having a robot or something in your team. Like, oh, we can't have one guy can't be a robot.
You can't have an unfair advantage.
Yeah. So we can't do the NFL. There's a series, which is it's the highlight funny moment for me, and I forgot the name of it. It's something like Man versus Beast or something like that. But where he's like, "Wait, you want me to fight a shark?" And they're like, "Well, yes, but that's like a season ender. That'll be our see. First, we'll start with you fighting a honey badger. You think you could take on a honey badger?" Which even the image of like giant Luke Cage fighting an animal the size of a toaster just sounds hilarious to me. Yeah.
But too bad they don't have a camera on him as he's plunging, in the water there. Maybe they could have got some extra.
Oh, true. He's like
and these
fighting
sharks
a carp.
down there.
This bass will do.
Take that, jellyfish.
So that doesn't pan out. He decides not to do that gig, and desperate, needs the cash because he wants this thing to go away. He agrees to basically be the oddity at a party.
Yes.
Which kind of reminds me a little bit back. We've done some comparisons at times. I don't know if it was this show. I think it was Westworld, but we compared it to Altered Carbon. But there's an Altered Carbon moment in this too. Remember where the rich guy brings in, look, you'll be the oddity at my party. You just stand there and be weird. You're a collectible for me.
Yeah, that was interesting in Altered Carbon, wherein in the end, it was just to fuck with him. He didn't really care about having him in a party, and But Piranha is actually...
Piranha is like...
really
Piranha has a wall of Luke Cage collectibles.
Yes.
Which I think is a Luke even says, this is creepy.
Yeah.
And it is somewhat. He's like, oh yeah, every time you get in a fight, everything gets on eBay. Yeah. He's got your bullets over here. I've got your... He gives them his the hoodie that has bullet holes in it to wear as his... As Luke says, it's like, what does he say? He's like, God damn cosplay, or something like that.
Yeah.
But he's cosplaying as himself, which is great. I like that line. And so, he goes and he meets and greets. He's very begrudgingly doing so at this party that Piranha's having. We're cutting forward a little bit. Meanwhile, we're noting that there are various people connected to Mariah that are missing.
Yes.
Hey, where did Mark Higgins go? Mark Higgins was the guy that she blackmailed into giving her like, oh, I don't know where he is. Oh, where's Ray Ray, who is one of Shade's henchmen? I don't know where he is. Like,
check on him. Maybe we should be worried about that. Also,
Bushmaster is nowhere to be seen, and people are trying to find him, and it's like, where did he go? Well, you know what he's doing? He's cutting people's heads off.
Yes.
So Mariah has another chat. So this episode in particular, because you don't have Claire.
No.
Claire's left. You don't have Bobby, the friend and comrade.
No, you don't.
Because he's left to go donate a kidney.
Right.
And you don't have Bushmaster.
But all you need is Foggy.
You do get some Foggy. That's great. I'll give him his props. I didn't hate him in this.
Isn't it?
I didn't hate him in this episode.
Oh, good. All right.
There you go.
It's this episode too where they're, oh, that's right, because they have to discover it. So that's when they find all the heads on the plate.
Right at the very end. So my point being, they kind of remove some of the players, and so you kind of focus more on it's Luke, it's Mariah, and Misty. Or kind of the main
Luke occasionally does have, or maybe it's not until the next episode, his buddy who's like, managing the app and all the marketing and everything.
DW, I think, comes in and goes, hey, there's some guys sneaking in your back. But I think that is in the next episode. But yes. Mariah is her daughter. She's reconnecting with her daughter some more. They're talking at this facility. So it's a family first initiative, and it seems really cool, right? Hey, we're going to offer all these free services.
Is it this one or is it the last one where she's like, here's everything I'm doing that's bad. I'll tell you everything. I think it was the last one, wasn't it?
I think it might have been, this is after the case. But we can bring that into this. It's a 2-hour episode of sorts, so we're talking. So, but Mariah brings the daughter into the facility. It's like, hey, da, da, da. The daughter's like, yeah, but, her basically Mariah's agenda is she wants to have the daughter work at the facility.
Yes.
I want you to be on the medical staff, and you can be my daughter. See, this will be really cool.
Yeah.
And the daughter's like, yeah, but I'm not gonna. This is all blood money, I'm not. And she's like, no, I got this all free and clear. This is great.
All cleaned. The money.
And we get the idea, this idea of, Luke is obviously against his dad, and that's a big theme in the thing. But it's also Mariah is fighting the legacy of her grandmother. She thinks, hey, yeah, my grandmother was awful, and she ran this house of prostitution and ran whatever, guns and blah, blah, blah. But I've now transitioned all that stuff, and I've laundered all this money. And so now I have this really cool thing out of it. So I'm cleansing the family. I'm cleansing that. She's kind of butting heads with her heritage, basically. And so that's kind of what Luke is fighting, his heritage as well. So I think that's a theme that we see. Also, we see eventually, this is in the second episode, but Piranha talks about, oh yeah, my mom worked for Mabel Stokes, and she was a prostitute, and one of her clients was my dad. And I went to him for help, and he turned me away. But then when I made it big, he suddenly showed up and wanted a handout, and I was like, "Screw you!" But so like he had dad issues as well. So we just see the father
played that rather well, and that he didn't come out and say, "I regret doing that." It's clear from what he's saying that he felt it was the wrong thing to do.
Right. And then he does deliver the, "You ought to go reconnect with your dad, Luke."
Yes.
Please don't punch me in the face. So there's kind of mysterious at that time, back in episode 5, where Bushmaster's gone. What is happening? So what's happening is there's a gang war about to start.
Yeah.
And the announced beginning of that war is near the end of the episode. Mariah's got all the cameras. Hey everybody, come see my new free facility, yay for Harlem, this will be a great moment. Opens the doors, and there's 3 heads on pikes.
Yes.
And it's the 3 people that have been missing all episode.
Yes.
One of them being Cockroach.
Yes.
Who we'll talk about in a second, but Misty decides, one of the things we keep seeing in this is Misty has these flashbacks to her relationship with the corrupt partner she had, Scarf.
Yes.
And she's kind of remembering all the moments when he was actually showing her that he was corrupt, and she was just like, "Yep, I don't know what you're talking about." There's this bit where he's like, "Oh yeah, we could just frame this guy," and she looks at him, and he's like, it was a test, and she's like, "Oh,
you got me
again." So she's like, "Oh yeah, it wasn't a test at all. That was him actually honestly trying to see if I would be going along with it." So she decides. Somewhere in there, she decides, screw it, I'm going to go along with this, and I'm going to frame Cockroach.
Yeah.
Because she sees that Cockroach is beating up his wife again, and I think it's his wife. And
I think so.
She is not pressing charges.
No.
And so, in order to save this woman, and also I think out of revenge,
sure,
she's decided, all right, fine, I'm going to plant some evidence on Cockroach. She goes to plant the evidence, but then sees a bunch of blood on the floor, and then, it's Headless Cockroach sitting on his couch.
Yes.
Because his head is across town.
Yes.
Over at the Family First Initiative building. So that's obviously this big reveal moment, like, oh, whoa, okay. Cameras are showing it. It gets on the news.
Yes.
And I don't know if that's in this episode or the next one, but they show the news footage back in Brooklyn. And we see Bushmaster sitting at his place, Gwen's, and they're showing the footage, and everybody's kind of shocked about it, but he's like, everything's working perfectly. You're like, oh, okay. So then also the gang war is also spilling out. They want to capture, the Jamaicans want to capture Piranha. As we learn, it's because Piranha currently has power of attorney over Mariah's funds and the Harlem's Paradise, and so hey, if you capture him, you can kind of control the money for Mariah. So he's paid Luke for the night. We get a little bit of this heroes for hire thing, what we skip from the comics, where he's like, "Hey, I hired you." So Luke's like, "All right, well, if you want me the rest of the night, it just doubled."
Yeah.
So he owes him $300,000 at this point, and so Luke protects him. And he's getting chased by a whole bunch of guys with guns. And Luke throws him across an alley, which sprains his ankle. And they get away, basically. They have to go across the rooftops.
Well, they get away a bit. They're not exactly safe yet.
They're not safe, but they're...
At this point.
They're not... they're not. Piranha is not dead.
Correct.
So, they're hiding out. We then get what do we got? Later on, Luke decides to use Piranha as a bargaining chip. Piranha's like, hey, listen, get me out of the country. I paid you. He's like, no, wait. You have value.
Yes.
So,
well, yeah, throughout the course of their being, he wants to find out more about Mariah's, because what's going on with that?
Right.
So he wanted to find out more about our operation, and once he realizes how valuable he is, then he's like, no, I want you to, testify.
Piranha's basically like, I did insider trading, so what? Everybody does insider trading. That's what I did. I gave her a stock tip. And it's interesting. They kind of I do appreciate that they make Piranha kind of a shades of gray guy. Like, he's not just, I'm evil and a jerk and horrible. Like, he shoots Luke as that's not the best thing. And Luke's like, hey, if you shoot me, it's going to ricochet and it might kill somebody, and don't do that. Okay. So he's a jerk and he's a loudmouth, but he also, there's something about him that's not completely
irredeemable.
Yeah,
sure.
Off the
evil.
And so Luke decides he's going to turn him into the cops, but he has to do it in the right way because he's worried that that Piranha might get killed on his way to the cops.
Yes.
So he decides to do something that I think shows a shortcoming in Luke's strategizing. Luke is not a worst case scenario guy.
Oh, right.
Luke is everything will work out, and so when it does, this is the best plan. Like, he doesn't think, what would happen if this plan backfires? So, for instance, hey, everybody is driving around town looking to shoot Piranha and anyone that's protecting him. Boy, we're in trouble. I've seen these guys go by. You know what? It would be good if I took him to my dad's church, because no one would think to look there. Okay, reasonable idea. I'm not saying that the church is not a horrible hideout, but the idea is maybe think about what would happen if they find this guy anyway at the church. Now you put your dad in danger. You put any parishioners in danger. The damage to the church, much less, Piranha, obviously. But, So anyway, he's basically, it's like his dad takes on a pretty big responsibility.
Yes, he does.
It's like, all right, and I get it, sanctuary at a church, you got to say yes, but the fact that Luke asks him to do that is kind of, I think, irresponsible of Luke to go, hey, this guy's in real danger. This isn't like hey, could this guy spend the night he doesn't have any place to stay. This guy, people are trying to shoot him. Have already tried.
Yes.
I just beat up a dozen guys with guns who were taking this guy.
Yes.
So I'm going to put him here and I'll be back later. So that's maybe think worst case scenario on that and not assume your dad will be fine. The other thing is, I know how to solve this. Now that I've got Piranha safely at the church, I'm going to challenge a one-on-one duel with the guy who kicked my ass 2 days ago, or whatever, how many days ago it was. I feel sure I'll win. I'm so sure that I'll use Piranha as bait.
Yeah.
Hey, Bushmaster, if you beat me, I'll give you Piranha. I don't think Piranha would agree to if he knew that was... No. Wait, this guy that just beat the living hell out of you, you're going to fight him again. Nothing's really changed.
It's a good thing for him to trust in the values and integrity of a murderer.
Oh, right, exactly. He's like, all right, it'll be a fair fight, I assume, Bushmaster. Everyone else hearing that knows it won't be a fair fight, but Luke is good with it. So I assume eventually, I haven't watched past episode 6, but I assume that's how Luke will avoid turning in Piranha. Is he'll go, hey, you cheated. So it wasn't a fair fight. I'm not giving you Piranha, but I don't know, maybe.
It's funny. I wasn't gonna reveal this. I kind of skipped through the fight scene, so I missed his cheating. But the thing that I thought about was,
he blows the dust and paralyzes.
Even if Luke had won, I'm sure that
Bushmaster's not going to leave.
wouldn't have honored it.
Right. You're right. I'm going to leave Harlem.
Yeah. So it was a dumb fight.
It was a dumb fight. I do love this about you, Paul, though.
What?
I love the fact that you are a big superhero guy.
Oh, sure.
You enjoy Marvel. The thing you are, maybe one of your least favorite things are the fights. That you go, you're like, fight. Oh, cool. The non-fight stuff, which a lot of people might be like, where are the more fights?
Yeah.
That's good. Good,
I
sir.
really like that. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the fight. I thought it was well choreographed. Whatever.
I mean, we don't know. Right? I'm pretty sure we don't know, but we assume that at some point Iron Fist is going to teach Luke to fight.
Right. We've seen a trailer where Iron Fist shows up, so we're assuming that yes, there's a training montage probably.
Yeah. So at that point he's going to be good. I mean, you knew that he was going to like.
He still looks clunky, but he's like a brick, right? So it's like you can hit me, fine. I'll take some damage, and then I'll hit you. I'll punch you back.
Right. So that'd be because certainly he hasn't needed to be able to fight.
Because he actually, it's a good point in that he actually won the fight, fair and square. I mean, he punches out Bushmaster. The reason Bushmaster cheats, I know. I'm informing Paul that it was a fight and what happened. But the reason Bushmaster uses the powder to paralyze him is he's lost at that point. Like he's bleeding. He's like, and I think there's a line where Luke's like, all right, that's it. You're out. Yeah. Go on now. And it's like, oh, I got another thing. Wow. So in fact, he doesn't necessarily maybe need to be trained. He's like, except don't fall for stupid, assume your enemy might cheat in a fight to the death.
I assume that this is when we're going to see Mariah's daughter again.
Okay.
So that he can get some,
Oh, sure. New potions.
Yeah,
or
new potion.
Powders.
This is the anti-powder potion. She's going to make a lot of
money.
money.
You mean Luke does?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I feel like Luke will stay above using stuff
above
like that.
it? Because, they already established that he met her,
I agree. And then there was that weird scene where they held hands.
Yeah.
And you're like, wait, are you guys an item? What? And Claire's not in the picture. I'm going to go on the... I don't think he's going to use enhancements. Okay. I think he's going to he's not going to,
Luke is natural.
Wait, there's an anti-paralyzation powder I can ingest. I don't know, maybe. But I think not.
Okay.
We'll see. But yeah, good point on the daughter. So the daughter is still in play. She has another conversation. Mariah is still trying to convince her to come work at this, the Heads on Pikes place, now called Three Heads on Pikes Initiative. Daughter's like, I just don't believe. Well, obviously, there were heads on pikes.
Yes.
Nothing has changed. This is a criminal enterprise that you're trying to run here. Yeah. And so she says, you're lying to me. You're not telling me everything. So Mariah lays it out for her. Tells her, Mark Higgins, we blackmailed him. We took the guns and we sold them off. And I got the money, and now it's whatever. So interesting that Mariah decided to go ahead with. She thought that was the only way to get her daughter involved. I think it was to tell her the truth. But it also means that the daughter now knows that information.
Yes.
Which could be used against Mariah at some point.
I guess so.
The other bomb that drops in the second episode. The sixth episode, but the second episode we're talking about, is when Shades tells Comanche, Mariah killed Cottonmouth.
Yes.
And no one else knows about it.
No.
But you do now.
Yes.
And we know that Comanche is an informant for the cops. So there's two people, Tilda and Comanche, who both now have very incriminating information to tell about Mariah.
Yeah. Now, do you still feel the same that she's going to make it out of this season?
That Mariah will make it out of the season?
Yeah.
I think she'll be in jail.
Okay.
I don't know that she's gonna die. I feel like I don't think she'll be free.
Okay. Because I kind of think she's gonna die.
I mean, maybe she's gonna go with like a Kingpin, right? Kingpin gets arrested. He's in jail. He still kind of runs things from jail, but he's in jail, and he has to wear the suit.
That might be interesting, but they'd have to communicate. Typically they don't put women and men in the
Sure,
same
that's true.
prison.
They wouldn't communicate together. But I'm just saying she might be, in other words, you're not free, but you're still kind of a threat because you're in jail, but
Right.
you
I
have
kind of feel
connections.
like 2 seasons is more than enough to ask of an actress of Alfre Woodard's.
Oh, you're looking at contracts. And like, okay,
Yeah.
and you're done.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like we had, Vincent D'Onofrio committed to the first season of Daredevil and had a number of episodes in season 2, and I think he'd be open to the same commitment.
I really hope he's back
the
for
third
season
one.
3.
I think he really is. I mean, because we've gotten all
Great villain.
the evidence that Bullseye, and the classic story involving Bullseye is Kingpin hiring Bullseye and Bullseye killing Elektra. So, even though they kind of changed it
I mean, you've got such a great villain there, and he's
by having other people kill Elektra. Still,
whoops, okay. I feel like he's still in play in the story-wise. I haven't killed off his character. We're talking Kingpin here, obviously,
Right.
but and
yeah, we're all
we just moved off. But they would be dumb not to
Right,
bring him back.
but
Pay him the money.
Probably wouldn't be. Who knows? It might be a full season, but it might just be like
I got
this,
you. A
where
couple
he's in-
episodes.
Right.
Yeah. 13 episodes is a lot.
Right.
Um,
So she's been like first season full.
Second season, she's
Second
been
season,
pretty much every episode.
Yeah. So
She's a big part of the.
I
As
would
I said,
think she would prefer. I would.
okay, like
to be
this is
killed
it.
off. Yeah,
Okay,
I
all
would
right.
think that's my.
I mentioned last recap that I thought Comanche was going to be killed off for the end of the season. I'm doubling down on that one. And now, in fact, I'm going to put the extra. I'm going to do the whatever. I'm doubling down, and I'm going to make an extra prediction on top of it.
Woo! Extra prediction.
Last time I said, hey, there's a lot of people that might want to kill him off because it could be Mariah, it could
Right,
be Shades, it
sure.
could be Bushmaster. It's Shades. Shades is going to kill that guy because
Gonna kill Bushmaster?
no, it's going to kill Comanche.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, by the way,
Oh, because he's betrayed.
yeah.
Oh. And he kind of. That's the conversation, right, between him and Mariah, where he's like, "Oh, did you tell anybody? Oh, you didn't tell anybody?" And he's like, in his head.
In his head, he's like,
"One
I told the person. Yes. Yeah, that was a very odd little conversation there. But yeah, that's so. Comanche actually was from the first season. I didn't realize that at first, but when I looked it up, I was like, oh yeah, so Comanche was at Seagate with Luke and Shades. What we find out in this episode is that Shades and Comanche had a relationship,
Yeah, had a sexual relationship.
a sexual relationship.
But the way that Comanche experienced it, was romantic as well.
Yes, and Shades is trying to like go, that was the past.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll still die for you.
Yeah.
I love you like a brother. But you can tell that feeling is not mutual that way. At least
Probably a
that's
good
what-
thing that he didn't use that phrase, though, because that really would have maybe.
That's true. Oops. It comes off a little, oops. But,
It's not me, it's you.
yeah. We're friends. But yeah, so I think that's I was trying to think of another gay relationship in an MCU property.
Yeah, I can't think of one.
And I don't. So that's so kudos to the show for doing that. And I thought a kind of interesting way. Like they're sitting they're waiting for Luke to come back to Pops, and they're sitting back to back with the guns ready. No one shows, but meanwhile they can talk.
Yes.
And they chat.
Yes.
And so we get this backstory that I didn't see coming, and it's interesting. So they were a couple at Seagate. Comanche still has feelings for Shades. That's also why Shades trusts Comanche so much, because
Yes.
he feels like, oh, right, yes.
Yes. I know
and-
you intimately.
Yeah. So that makes sense into why the two of them trust each other the way they do. But it also means that when inevitably Shades finds out that Comanche has been snitching for the cops, Comanche's dead. And so that'll be a really uncomfortable scene now that
Yeah.
we know this thing of like, oh, they really do have feelings, affection for each other, and yet I'm writing this in the fanfic, but Shades is going to be sad but then still had to kill Comanche.
Yes.
That's coming, he thinks. I don't know. Anyway,
That's a decent guess.
all right.
Unless it's the other way.
Because the I don't know if it's the chief of police. I'm not sure who Ridenour is. He's a sergeant. He's the guy. He's Mariah's or Misty's boss.
Sure.
He's really riding Comanche. Like, he's meeting up with him. Like, the more times you meet with him, the more times it's likely someone's going to figure it out.
Yes.
Maybe don't do that. But anyway, he keeps meeting up. Like, hey, you have anything for me?
Yeah.
No. All right. Well, it was a good meeting. I'll see you later. So that's coming to a head. We've got interesting conversation between Bushmaster and his uncle.
Yeah.
I think his name's Quincy. But
I'd say there are correlations, similarities between our current time in that groups that are immigrant groups, so they're not necessarily citizens, are, having to adjust to this society and maybe, being scapegoated. Right.
And so Quincy, his point is, upon seeing all of this gang war that's coming about between the Jamaicans and Mariah's group, it's like, look, if you have a grudge against, you, Bushmaster, have a grudge against Mariah, fine. You want to go kill Mariah, just do it. But don't do, I think terrorism is
Don't be sneaky.
Don't be terrorists.
Yes, don't be terrorists.
Because we Jamaicans have come here, we've built this life for ourselves. We're engineers and we go to school and we do all these things and we're succeeding. But we're gonna get sent back, basically. We're gonna become enemies of the state if you keep doing what you're doing. I want peace. You should look for peace. And Bushmaster's like, yeah, I want war.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah, uncle. So it was a really interesting, and you're right. It's very relevant to modern times.
Yes, our current times.
Another reference to ice as well.
Oh yeah.
In this.
Yeah,
so,
that's true.
That was all coming around. So what we also get is Shades tells Mariah's freaking out at this point. You got the heads in the thing, and everything's bad, and Shades is trying to calm her down. And one of the ways he tries to calm her down is like, look, I followed Bushmaster back to his home turf, and I found there's this place called Gwen's where he's got friends, probably family.
Yes, I would think.
I could. What are your orders? But my suggestion is we go and hit his family.
Yeah, I don't think they say that, but it does seem as if she gives him permission to do something bad. And so you
either kidnap family or kill family.
Or blow up family.
Yeah. And so he's off to go take out probably Quincy. I think, anyway, I think the people at Gwen's, which Quincy represents Gwen's, are probably in real trouble. Which will make Bushmaster very angry.
Yeah.
The idea of
Angrier.
Look, if we kill his uncle, then he'll just go away.
I think one of those plans, we see where he lives now. Let's now bomb it when he's there, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Or attack it when he's there.
Maybe that's it. But he mentions specifically family members,
right?
As though we could do something to them,
right?
And that'll. And kind of like your point about Luke. Hey, if I beat you up, you'll leave, right? Okay, great. This will be over in 5 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, even though they don't know, I feel like they don't know. Well, they knew that he beat up Luke Cage, I guess. So I guess they know that he's is different in some way. But
yeah, I'm just saying.
They're not aware that his power is temporary.
I feel like Gwen's is going to get hit.
I think they. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I think you're right. I think it's going to get hit.
So what other things? What other revelations did we have? We had. I thought actually the conversation between the dad, Luke's dad, and Luke.
It wasn't bad.
Was not bad. They weren't just yelling insults at each other.
True.
And it seemed like maybe that's the start of the turn toward acceptance.
Or his death.
Because, if they've been... You've got the dad dying thing. Which could happen. I'm not... That's reasonable.
We were just starting to get close.
Right.
And then they killed him.
And there'd be this. It'll be...
So,
I forgive you.
yeah. See, and then Bushmaster's uncle's dead, and then Luke's dad's dead.
And they can like bond over that. Like, look, we both lost somebody. Isn't it time we finished? Oh, you mean they really hit each other? Okay.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Oh, okay.
Another fight.
Your favorite,
Yes.
the fights.
My favorite.
Yes, we've
Or
got
more like whoa.
Who was that?
That was more Karate Kid, actually.
I was like, was that Bushmaster or was that Luke after training with Iron Fist?
Luke after training.
Okay.
Would be doing.
Oh, we did see Misty punch something with her
Yes, she
arm, and she realizes,
and
it's strong.
Also, after she realized that, like, I don't need to be a cop anymore.
This is big because this made me laugh because okay, she's got the relationship with her boss.
Yep.
Which is the trope, the stereotypical. You're a loose cannon, Mahoney.
Well,
oh yeah. Well, screw you. You get out of here. Get out of my office, and I don't want to. You look at all the damage you did in that last thing. So he's constantly berating her for something or telling her she's done something bad.
She's had difficulties since she's been there. And one thing they established when she decided to break into that apartment and then found the body is he's all like, wait, though, why were you there? What's going on? Like,
right.
Oh, I was just following up. But
how did you get in?
Yeah,
I picked the lock.
Yeah.
Exactly. So and then he says, you get out, you go home, and
go home, go.
So
you're a loose cannon. Go home.
Exactly. So that's all like playbook stuff. But then we get to this moment, which is why what was funny to me is she says, I confess, I was going to Cockroach to set him up. I was going to frame him. And the only reason I didn't is because I found blood on the floor before I could do it.
Well, I saw him with his head off.
Yeah. So she's like, she's confessing to this thing, and then he's like, well, you know what? The very act that you'd come in here and say that says a lot about your character. And she's like, no, I don't think you understand. And they have this back and forth. But what's great about it is he's totally on her side in this moment, and so he's like, oh, actually, you're a pretty good cop. And it's that conversation where she's like, I quit. But it's just funny that would be the time when she would quit, would be the one time that her boss is like, you know what, you're pretty all right. Oh yeah, really? Well, thanks. I quit. But she's out. So we had predicted that she might, because the comics, I guess, she's out of the police force. That might mirror what happens in this show. Yeah. So do we think she's out for good now, or do we think she's going to come back to the cops?
I don't think so.
You think like she's now going to be a private investigator?
I think so.
Okay.
I mean,
I can see that.
I can't think of a single. I shouldn't say that. I was going to say single Marvel character who's a cop, because another, there are other.
I mean, Luke was a former cop.
Former cop, right? Yeah. But I mean, when you go around and beating people up. It's like,
and her point was
there are actually in real life better ways to get information out of people than torture.
But
in drama, no,
apparently
there's no better way.
If I can't beat up a guy, then I don't want to live. So her point is either I play by the rules.
Let me beat you up a little bit.
Her point is either I play by the rules of copdom and don't accomplish anything, or I succumb to break the rules to get what I want done, like my partner, and end up like my partner. I don't like either of those two things, so I quit.
Yep.
So I can go beat people up.
Yep.
And get information out of them without the stupid Miranda rights. So yes, she has officially quit the force, and she has her strong hand.
Yes.
That's kind of the state of affairs.
Yeah.
All right. State of Affairs. There we go. Episode 6. We'll be back to talk about episodes 7 and 8. And I might do another little Lord of the Rings thing, which I'm sure you would love.
Oh, yeah.
But
more than Foggy Nelson.
Paul might not be in that chair for me chatting about Lord of the Rings. But
if you can combine it with Foggy Nelson and a fight.
If I can bring Foggy, a fight, and Lord of the Rings into the same conversation, we might see the death of Paul in that one. Okay, yes. You would fade away.
Exactly.
It would be the snapshot for you. Okay. Anyway, so yes, come back. We'll be talking Luke Cage. Probably I'll be talking a little Lord of the Rings and all that. So, bye everybody.
Bye.